Welcome back to Corona Can't Beat Us, where we take a look at another student athlete currently grappling with our new reality as we enter week, whatever this is, of COVID-19. With me today, one of the few student athletes still on campus of Austin Peay State University, point guard Carlos Paez, more commonly known as Chino, from the men's basketball team. Chino, first of all, how are you holding up during all this?
I'm doing well. I have what I need. Of course, I would like to have more, but I'm doing well. I have food. I would like to have the gym, but I don't.
When I've talked to a lot of people, they've talked about doing their own at-home workouts to stay sharp. You're still on campus. Every place you'd go on campus to do a workout is closed. So what are you doing to kind of stay fit?
I was in contact with our weights coach, and he sent us like workout that you can do. You don't need weights or none of that. So I did a couple of those, and then he figured out a way how to get me like some bands and stuff and two weights. So I've been using those.
Kind of lonely and isolating when it's just you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, You get used to being with your teammates and, hyping up when somebody's going like really heavy or when we accomplish, our goals of when it comes to weights. And when I get here, I'm just like, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, next.
How weird is it being on campus right now?
Well, it's really weird. It's kind of like in the summer, last summer, but without my teammates. So it's kind of hard to. I've been just keeping in contact with them through my like video games and stuff because I don't really go out. I mean, there's no point of going out.
Give me an idea of what your day-to-day is like right now.
I'll wake up, go get food about 10:30. Go get food, come back. Maybe first I'll watch some Netflix or something, then I'll probably do homework throughout the afternoon, play video games. Um, about 6 or 7, that's when I most do my workouts most of the times. And then after that, if I have homework to do, I just do homework. But if I have free time, I either watch Netflix or play video games with my friends.
What led to your decision to stay?
I can't really go back home. I haven't been back home the last 2 years, so of course I'm not gonna go this year. I don't know. I didn't really want to be at nobody's house where they feel like, oh, like Chino's here, like we can't do certain things because he's here and all this type of stuff. And I want to feel like that person that, like, I could have went to my teammate's house and I know for sure they would have paid for everything. And I really don't like that because, I don't know. I guess I'm really independent. I don't like to depend on other people. So I just decided to stay here. And after this, I'll just go to my mentor's house, which with him is not as bad because he's like my mentor.
With everybody else going away and it just being you, have you had to become a little more self-reliant than maybe you would have been otherwise?
Yeah, for sure. I got to hold myself accountable when it comes to like doing my workouts and stuff. It's fun. It's more fun when you work out with your friends and you kind of hold each other accountable. Now it's like, I got to do it all by myself. I can't let myself like not do stuff. I can't let myself play video games all day, even though I'm not a gamer. Like, I got to keep my studies, all this type of thing. So I have to do it all by myself. Of course, the athletic advisors are texting us all the time, but I could just ignore that text if I really wanted to.
That'll make Katie Etheridge feel, well, loved and respected, I'm sure. Obviously, you couldn't possibly have predicted that this would be what the second half of your freshman year would look like. But with it affecting everybody, do you feel like even though we're all isolated right now, everybody's still connected by this thing that we're all being forced to go through?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just look at this as, oh my gosh, this is so bad. You know, you can always bring like a positive outcome from every situation. So I feel like this kind of help us like get united. Maybe we're trying to get united as a nation. I know in this sports world, like there's a lot of people trying to contribute and like a lot of professional players like giving money and all this stuff. So and that aspect, I think, just brought us together. You know, as one like sports community, like it just brought us together. And I don't know. I feel like, well, with my teammates, I always stay in touch with them no matter what. So it hasn't really. I like to be alone, but I know about them. Sometimes, of course, I miss them, but it is what it is.
Have you been able to have a lot of contact with your family back home?
Yes, like I
How's
said,
everybody?
that's one of the positive things about this. Usually, you know, so the routine, like school, practices, study hall, all these things. I only get like a slight chance to talk to them at night because you know you got to get your rest and all this. I have a lot of time, so I can talk to them more. They're doing well. My brother was sick for a little bit, and we're a little worried that he will get that. But where I'm from, like my city, there's not many cases there, or at least not many known cases. So they're good. They're having other problems, you know, social, economical problems, but with this corona stuff, like they're not being like really affected.
Your classes, obviously, all now being online. Has that been? What's that transition been like for you?
Well, it hasn't been that hard because I have a lot of time. So even if I don't like understand something, I could just sit there for like 2 hours and read about it, you know? And it's not like, oh no, I can't do this because I have to go do some other thing. I mean, I have nothing to do, so I just sit there and read and all this kind of stuff. And also, um, it hasn't like the teachers have been contributing, like they don't make stuff like super complicated, you know. So it hasn't been that hard. Of course, there's some things that you're like, I wish I had the professor right here so I could just ask and get the answer right away. But it hasn't been that
What's the thing you miss the most about just your usual day to day?
hanging out with people. Like, you know, once you start having a routine every day, it's like if you completely just change that from one day to another, it feels weird, you know. Like being able to go to class with my teammates, work out with my teammates, eat with them, like all this stuff. Like they become family. So it's like I got my family taken away, and it's like, man, I don't know what to do, and I don't have basketball. Like that would have been my escape, you know. If I had basketball, I could just go to the gym and like work out and stuff like that, or shoot, and then I'll get my mind off of it. But I don't even have that, so it's like, you know, I got taken away both of the things that I like I'm used to.
This is obviously for a lot of people the first extended downtime that they've had without their sport in years in many cases. Does it feel like a part of you is kind of missing without basketball?
Yeah, for sure. This is like, yeah, I don't think I've had like more than 2 week break. Besides when I got hurt this year, like before the season. And even then I was still working out or I was still coming to practices and like being involved in all this type of things. But like absolutely no basketball, no. Like since I was 6 years old, I've never had this long of a break.
Staying in contact with your teammates obviously is important. Is the relationship and the bond as strong when you're doing Zoom or FaceTime or texting, or is it growing because of that distance? Are you guys coming together closer because you're going through this thing together?
I mean, I think we created a huge bond, like a really strong bond. like the heart of the team. Of course, we lost some guys that were really important for our team, but even with them, like our relation, like our bond didn't break. You know, we're still in contact. We're still brothers. You know, we still love each other and like wish the best for each other. So, you know, we I think we just want to get back here and get back to work. Like that's the main thing that we want. Like our bond, we're not really worried about that because we already created one like strong base. You know, we just want to get back here and kind of like run it back. You know, we still have that a little, you know, stone on your shoes that you just want to get back to work and get better. So I think that's the one thing that our bond is going to make our bond better. That everybody wants to work like even harder because we want to take the next step.
Spring and summer are big times in basketball where you can focus a lot more on the finer details of improving your game, and it's not your day-to-day in practice. It's a lot more individual work to refine your game. Not having that this year, for whatever that looks like, if you're back in June, if you're not back till September, whatever it looks like, how big of a factor do you think that'll play across college basketball where everybody is in the same boat?
It's huge because I remember one of the reasons why the freshmen this year were able to adapt, like how we adapted, was because we were here for a really long period of time. So we kind of, during the summer, we got used to the routine and like our bodies got better, skill work better. And once we got to the season, it was like, okay, we just need to find our role on the team. It wasn't more about it wasn't anymore about I gotta adjust my body, I gotta do this or that. Of course, you have a small details that you gotta fix, or it was more about how to fit in the team and not about, oh my gosh, these guys are like dominating me, like physical wise, you know. So I think it could have been a huge jump for us, for our team, because we have a lot of new pieces. And we actually, with those guys, I've been in contact with them. I actually played with Corbin Merritt in the past, and JJ, one of the other recruits that committed, I've been in contact with him, and like they're like, we're so ready to get back to work. So that's one of the things that I think we're gonna take a little bit longer to create a bond, like bring them into the family. Because last year we were here all summer, so we spent time all summer together. We got closer together during the summer. So during the season, it was like, okay, we already have this bond. With them, if we don't have them during the summer, it's gonna be, you know, a little bit different. But I think we're gonna get there.
What about your coaches in the contact with them? You mentioned Joe. Uh, what about everybody else? Is it what have you been able to do, or has it been mostly just check-ins?
It's more checking in than anything. Um, I had a meeting before they closed everything down. I had a meeting with the coaches. You know, I was just there in the gym, and they said like, "Come in," and we talked about, you know, what we thought about the season, what we think we can do better next year. Me as an individual and like as a whole team. But yeah, it's been more checking ins and stuff because, like I told you, I can't really like work out or nothing. Trace has actually been working on like film for me to watch it. I've been watching film and I've talked to the coaches about it, but it's been more like checking ins and stuff.
Is that kind of a feel good moment when they're just checking in to see how you, the person, are doing, not you, the basketball player?
Yeah, I mean, I think we put the athlete side to the side for a moment, and it's more like, how are you doing? Are you healthy? Like, do you have everything you need? It's good to know that there's people that truly care about you and not just like, come here, play for me, give me the best you got in the court, and then what happens after that, I don't care. You know, there's been a lot of people here that has been, you know, checking in on me, and they're always offering, like, if you need anything, let me know. So it does feel good knowing that there's people that truly care about you.
What's one thing you hope comes out of this that's good? What's one silver lining that you hope we as people, you as an individual, get out of this?
We look at ourselves in the mirror and learn how to not take things for granted, you know? Like me, for example, I was able to understand how important it is for me to talk to my family, like, constantly. During the season or before this happened, I would talk to them maybe like twice a week. Um, I think that has helped me a lot how to stay sane, to be honest. So I think we just got to look ourselves in the mirror and be like, how can we be better as a human being, not even just as athletes or whatever, just as a human being? Why can we do better as a society? You know, how can we get together and be better as a whole?
What's something that people who aren't experiencing what you're experiencing right now, what should they know about the Austin Peay campus when it's a complete ghost town?
It's extremely boring and there's nothing to do. I don't even know why the Wi-Fi fails sometimes because there's no people here. It makes me mad, but I mean, it's just, I guess it's lonely. There's nobody here. They close everything, so there's literally nothing to do.
It's extremely boring. Well, they probably won't slap that on the recruiting brochures for the next few years.
Well, if you come as an athlete, you're gonna have your team here. That's fun because there will be nothing to do out there, but you'll get something to do with your teammates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is there anything else? Anything else about your experience you want to share?
Like I said, just don't take things for granted. Just make sure that um, every day that you wake up, just take advantage that you got another day to live. You know, just like coaches preach, like basketball is gonna stop bouncing one day. Well, you're not gonna have a chance to wake up the next day one day too. So take advantage of your families right now. Because me, for example, I haven't seen my family in 2 years. It's gonna be 3 next year, or yeah, this summer. It's gonna be 3 years. So I really wish I could see my family. So you guys take advantage of being able to be with your family as much as you can. I know they're probably driving you crazy because most of us, oh well, most of you don't spend that much time with your families, but take advantage of that.
Good words to live by. Well, Chino, I appreciate you taking a few minutes today, man.
Yes,
Stay
sir.
safe, stay sane. Looking forward to seeing you on the other side of this.
I'll try to stay sane.